I want to marry another woman.
What? Another woman?
She will be from the city.
What happens when a man believes he understands the peace inside his home, while two hearts beat with a secret he cannot see?
This is not a tale of simple marriage. It is not a tale of ordinary jealousy between co-wives.
It is the story of how affection, loneliness, influence, and silence slowly wove together into something complicated.
Just something that changed the lives of 3 people forever. This is the heaviest story of my life.
And it began long before The Secret. I was once known as the pride of my village. I was young, beautiful, and untouched by the world. When my husband married me,
our wedding was celebrated by the entire village. The drums were loud, women danced in circles, and elders raised their hands in blessing.
people clapped and sang, saying I was fortunate. My husband was respected, and he loved me deeply then. At least, that is what everyone believed. Soon after the wedding, he took me away from the village and brought me to the city.
That was the moment my life began to change. The city was not like the village. Everything moved faster.
The streets were louder. People dressed differently and spoke differently. In the village, life was simple. You woke up with the sun, worked with your hands, greeted everyone you passed. But in the city, I felt like someone who had been dropped into another world.
My husband expected me to adjust quickly, but I did not know how. I dressed the way I had always dressed.
Why are you dressed like a village girl?
I spoke the way I had always spoken. I carried myself like a village girl because that was exactly what I was. My husband began to grow frustrated. Sometimes he shouted at me. Sometimes he criticized how I walked, how I spoke, how I dressed. He wanted me to transform overnight into what he called a city woman. But how could I become something I had never seen before? The more I tried, the more I failed. And the more I failed, the more distant my husband became.
I want to marry another woman.
What? Another woman?
She will be from the city.
At first, my heart was heavy. No woman easily accepts sharing her husband. But I also felt something else, resignation. I believed my husband deserved the kind of woman he wanted. So I agreed. In my mind, I told myself something hopeful. Maybe if he married a city woman, she could teach me how to live like one. Maybe I could learn. Maybe I could finally become the woman my husband wanted. So the second wife came into our home and everything changed. My co-wife arrived confident and polished. She spoke smoothly. She understood the city in ways I did not. At first, she treated me kindly. She began teaching me things I had never known. She showed me how to dress differently. She showed me how to style my hair. She showed me how to move and speak with the confidence of city women. Little by little, I began learning. I admired her. I trusted her. To me, she was not only my co-wife, she became my teacher.
But the lessons did not stop with clothing and behavior. One day, she introduced me to something new. She taught me how to smoke cigarettes.
At first, I hesitated, but she laughed and told me it was normal among city women. Still, she warned me of one rule. Our husband must never see us doing this. After we smoked, she gave me sweets and chewing gum so our breath would smell fresh. When our husband returned from work, he never noticed anything unusual. I thought I was simply learning the hidden habits of city life. But I did not realize how deeply her influence over me had grown. One day, something happened that changed the direction of my life.
She gave me a drink. I trusted her completely, so I drank it without hesitation. Not long after, I became extremely tired.
The room began to spin. Then I fell asleep. When I woke up later, things felt strange. I was lying in bed beside her.
I could not understand what had happened while I slept. When I asked her questions, she answered in ways that left me even more uncertain.
You should relax and not worry. It's just another part of city life. I don't fully understand what happened. It's okay.
But something inside me had shifted, a bond that grew. After that day, our relationship changed. She became closer to me than before.
We spent long hours together when our husband was away. We cooked together. We laughed together.
We played around the compound like sisters who had known each other for years. To outsiders, it looked like simple friendship between co-wives.
Even our husband was happy when he saw us enjoying each other's company. He believed the harmony in the house was natural.
But there was something deeper happening beneath the surface. Our emotional connection grew stronger. Soon, we felt like we shared not only the same home, but the same inner world.
Not as strangers forced to share a husband, but as something united.
We began saying that we were one flesh and one blood. When it came to our marriage, we insisted that everything should involve both of us equally.
Our husband did not understand this idea. He preferred a more traditional arrangement where he related to each wife separately, but we insisted that we were united. This difference created tension inside the house.
From our husband's point of view, everything had once seemed perfect.
This is just perfect. I know, right?
His two wives laughed together. They cooked together. They worked together peacefully. Any men would have been proud to see such harmony, but as time passed, he began to notice things he could not explain. Sometimes we refused his attention. Sometimes we behaved in ways he did not understand. Eventually, he became frustrated.
At one point, I even threatened to divorce one of you and keep the other.
But we answered him firmly.
If you send one of us away, then the other will go with her. Our bond had become too strong. A life of secrets. From that moment forward, our home was filled with unspoken tension. Our husband could see that something was unusual, but he could not identify it. But inside, the truth was complicated. There was affection, there was confusion.
How's that looking? I'm not sure. It's confusing.
There were secrets that could not easily be explained. Today, when I look back at my life,
I see it as a long road filled with choices, influences, and misunderstandings.
marriage would help me learn and grow. Instead, it led me down a path I never expected. Some parts of that journey were shaped by trust. Some parts were shaped by manipulation. Some parts were shaped by loneliness and the need to belong. And now, when I tell this story, I do not tell it to shock people. I tell it because it is the truth of what happened inside one house where three lives became tangled together.
Sometimes they do not simply shine brighter. Sometimes they create a fire that changes everything around them.
My life became that fire, and even today, I still carry the weight of its smoke.